Hello, Ambassador. This is Umashankar, independent journalist. You have just urged the international community to support the Palestinian cause. So my question is that how do you see India's support in this regard, especially after October 7 attack, which India termed as a terrorist attack?
Thank you so much indeed. You mentioned two things, and it is very important. India support, or India, this should take me to shed light on the historical relation between India and the similarity between India history and the India-Palestinian history, and of course the current relation. India history was started with Palestine more than hundreds of years ago when one of the Indian sheikh and religious leaders came to Jerusalem and built his own place, and which is still serving the Palestinian up today. So India have a special part in the holy site in India. Our also relation was started in 1918 when the British invade and occupied Palestine at that time. Unfortunately, part of the British army was at that time Indian soldier, and today Israel is trying to say that this is an historical relation between India and Israel in Haifa, what is called Haifa battle. I'm not pretty sure whether you know about it, but if you did not, I'm pretty sure that my office will going to support you with all the document and our argument in this regard. So that even our history, Israel is trying to falsify it by connecting what happened, the occupation or British occupation of Haifa in 1918, which happened with, of course, part of the army was Indian soldier, is trying to say that this is part of it is historical relation with India, and it was a liberation of Haifa as if we, the Palestinian, considering the Ottoman, the Turkish at that time as occupying power, which is not true at all. So even the history, when it came to the history, the Israelis trying to falsify the narrative and the history. So you all should be extra careful. In 1947, India voted against the establishment of Jewish state in Palestine. India was the very first one to acknowledge, non-Arab and non-Muslim country to acknowledge the PLO in mid-1970 as the sole and legitimate representative of the Palestinian people. In 1988, India recognized the state of Palestine. We have a full diplomatic relation with India, embassies, and all of this stuff. So the relation is very good, but this is one of the measures. And the other measures up to date, India in the United Nations, whether it is in Security Council, we carefully listen to the ambassador, the representative of India in the United Nations just 1 month, less than 1 month ago, when he delivered a very good and very important statement in the United Nations Security Council. And also we used to monitor the relation between India and Palestine based on the positive vote of India for the Palestinian resolution in the United Nations General Assembly. So this is how did we judge the relation with India, and we still believe that India can do more in this particular issue. But when it came, because you mentioned in October 7th, I cannot agree with you that the history with India or with anything or with anyone should be measured as just of October 7th. October 7th is one day in our life. We are not in agreement with what happened in October 7th, but this is not the starting point of the history. Before October 7th, our story was started in 1917, November 2nd, when your colonizer, do you remember, the British, whom have zero footprint in our homeland, pledged and gifted our homeland, ancient homeland, and when I say our homeland, Palestine is our homeland. Palestine, we still have the title deeds for this land. Up to date, Israel is ruling and managing our property in Palestine, special law called absentee property law. You can find it in Google. So that we cannot agree that as if anyone want to start measuring from October 7th. What about October 6th? Anyone know what happened to the Palestinians in October 6th? As if half a dozen of Palestinians have been killed in October 6th. Alone. Since January 1st, 2023, up to Friday, October 6th, 2023, more than 400 Palestinians have been slaughtered. Does this make any news in any screen? No. Did you know about it? No. So October 7th is a fact, but this is not the only fact. And we cannot, and we will not. India have the full right to describe it as it's the India position to describe what they want to describe October 7th, but it's not anyone's right to start measuring the history of what happened in Palestine for October 7th, and we have our argument in this stage. Thank you.
Thank you.